Hey everyone, I'm Officer Paul Cruz, Public Information Unit. Today we are making a video to update you in regards to our program that we launched in 2018 called Operation Save a Casing. This program is designed to help gun owners understand the importance of gun safety along with how this program works.
The program is a simple program, and all we're asking gun owners to do is the next time they go to a firearms range, they pick up 2 spent casings per gun. We're going to provide flyers at each patrol station, and each flyer has an envelope. You can store your 2 spent casings in the envelope, on the envelope or Ziploc bag. It doesn't have to be an envelope. You write down your firearm serial number, make and model, and you store that separate from where you keep your firearm. You don't have to turn them in. We hope that you never have to turn them in, but in case your gun is stolen, you have the option of turning those spent casings in with a police report. Now there's 2 things. That it helps us potentially put more charges on the suspect, and it also helps us get you your gun back. There's no liability on the gun owner, and we do ask that if your gun is ever stolen, to please report it to police to help us. We know that these guns will end up in the street, quickly exchange hands, so we're asking the community as a preventative measure to start storing your spent casings just in case your gun is ever stolen.
Operation Save a Casing is a voluntary program. I think it's a good program, and it is a program that the citizens can use to help us with our investigations. No time do we want the cartridge casings unless there is the unfortunate situation where the citizen had their firearm stolen. If the citizen is able to write down their serial numbers of their firearms and then have those cartridge casings saved in a separate location, and then know that those casings came from that firearm, we would, and if they're willing to provide that to us, and that's again a totally voluntary thing if they want to turn those casings over to us, and we do very much appreciate that, because then we can use those casings to look at possibly advancing our investigation. A citizen would not be held liable if they legitimately report their firearm being stolen, provide us with the cartridge casings voluntarily, and that gun happens to be used in a violent crime. That's the unfortunate thing, is that firearms are often used by criminals that are stolen to use in violent crimes, and the citizen would not be held liable, or we would not seek charges against them or anything like that. Because they're the victim of a crime. We would work as a department to try to figure out who actually stole their firearm, and then we would also want to try to identify who used that firearm in a violent offense. We have seen cases that are connected between here, Kansas City, and Topeka, but we know that guns have also been recovered in Texas, as well as Oklahoma and in Colorado, and Missouri. So we have seen that these guns do make it outside of the state of Kansas on a regular basis, and we can assume that those guns unfortunately are being then used in violent crimes. Operation Save a Casing is important to us because it's a tool that the detectives are able to use to facilitate with their investigations. I know it could be a lot of questions concerning turning over cartridge casings to an officer at the scene, but with those casings that you save through Operation Save a Casing, if you have the unfortunate situation of where a firearm is stolen from you, that can assist us, because these firearms are turned around and used almost immediately to commit violent crimes, unfortunately, within the city of Wichita and the surrounding towns. Sometimes the guns are also sold to other parties outside of that, and then those guns are used illegally. So us being able to then take those casings and enter them into the system called NIBIN, which is the National Ballistics Information Network, we were able to use that information from the casings and to see if that firearm is being used in other crimes that may be committed across the city. So you can imagine that us being able to link other incidents and possibly identify a suspect with those cases is a huge part of moving forward and possibly making an arrest and providing closure to not only victims of violent crime, but to improve the safety